Hello, and welcome to the Vegan Gym Live. We're the live stream where science meets plant power. I'm your host, Dr. Daphne Bascom, and we are so excited that you're here with us today. If you are a returning listener, thank you so much. We are excited that you're back to learn more about the intersection of science and veganism. And if you're new here, thank you for joining. And we would love to hear your thoughts about where you're listening from, what you're interested in. Please light up the chat. We love to hear from you. Our mission is to empower you with knowledge, cutting edge information that will help you optimize your health and fitness. And more importantly, to help you live your best life as a healthy, fit vegan. So, what you can count on us is that every episode we'll dive deep into the science, we'll share with you some training information, a little bit on the latest in plant based nutrition, and ensure you're getting the most out of your vegan lifestyle. But today we have a chilly topic. Um, we have the amazing rock star coach, Nathan, here with us. And Nathan is going to share with us a little bit about cold water immersion. Nathan, welcome to the Vegan Gym Live.
Thank you, Daphne. Yes, I'm happy to be here.
Nathan, I think this is the first time you've been on the live stream. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your health and fitness journey with the community?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's my first time live on this. With the full community. So I'm Coach Nathan. I'm based in the UK, living in Cardiff. I've been vegan myself since about October 2020, and I initially went vegan mostly due to my girlfriend at the time, who's now currently my fiance. But she was vegan when we met, and then like the more we got to together, and then she kind of just educated me on the like ethical side of the vegan lifestyle, and really highlighted how horrible the meat and dairy industry was. So that was kind of what made me take the switch. And before that, I've been a personal trainer since 2013, so I knew exactly what I needed to do with regards to my nutrition to kind of hit my protein and calorie needs. And knowing how to do that on a vegan lifestyle was just made even more simple when I was just cooking and eating for the both of us anyway. I've been a personal trainer since 2013. Worked mostly in gyms until the pandemic, and then I've been working exclusively online since about 2021. That's pretty much me in a nutshell.
And thank you for sharing that. And how about your fitness journey? I know you have some ambitious fitness goals.
Yeah, so I've always kind of just been a regular gym goer. Like I never did that well in team sports when I was younger. I did a bit of football or soccer and some rugby when I was in high
Mhm.
school, but never really pursued any big team sports, and just got really into going to the gym. And then most recently, I'm currently pursuing a like want to get to an elite level with High Rocks, which is like a sports fitness race. And competed in my first race in Malaga in April, and have another race coming up in October that I'm currently training for as well.
Awesome. Well, kudos, and we enjoy following you in your training journey. So maybe you'll get some more people in the community interested in high rocks.
Yeah, I hope so. It's definitely a growing sport, and really, really great community and an environment to be part of when you turn up to those events. They're just growing more and more each year.
So thinking about high rocks, is that why you became interested in cold water immersion, or what is your experience with cold water immersion, and can you share with us what it is?
Yeah, so I don't personally actually have a huge amount of experience with it myself. I tried cold showers quite a bit after looking into a lot of the research behind it. But I was mostly actually introduced to it from my sister's partner, who does cold showers regularly each morning. And just talking to him about it kind of got me interested in the topic. And then, the more research I did into it, the more benefits I realized that there actually is. So, I mean, in terms of just like actual definition of it, it would just be the intentional practice of like getting yourself cold and yeah, putting yourself into an uncomfortable environment, and yeah, just getting that stress from cold water exposure, or yeah, just cold water, just cold environment in general. Some cold exposure can be done just outside if you're in a cold enough area as well. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Mhm. And so, what prompted your sister's boyfriend or partner to explore cold water immersion? And was it for health benefits? Was it for, how did he get interested? And is it something that he's doing open water or, as you said, mainly just in the shower?
Yeah, so for him, he was got into it doing more for mental health benefits and just energy. Like I'm not sure actually where he discovered it or heard about it, but he said when he started doing them, he basically just gave up caffeine overnight from doing cold showers in the morning instead.
Really?
And yeah, he felt that he got that same energy and like alertness after doing cold showers in the morning. And yeah, most recently for his birthday in May, my sister actually got him a full plunge tank for their garden. So he's got a full plunge tank now, which I actually tried out at the end of May for the first time a few weeks ago.
So let's unwind this a little bit because this is fascinating. Is there, based on your research, are there specific temperatures that you need to expose yourself to obtain the benefits? Are the benefits mainly physical, mental, and is there a specific duration that you need to be in the cold water to get these benefits?
Yeah, so there's quite a lot of questions there. I'll try and break
Sorry.
them down individually. Um, but yeah, so in terms of the temperature, it basically just needs to be uncomfortably cold. So everyone has different levels of tolerances to the cold, and if the more you do it, obviously the higher your tolerance gets. So for someone that's just doing it for the first time, like even just like a 15-degree Celsius, I have to excuse me for not knowing the conversion to Fahrenheit. But yeah, about 15 degrees Celsius would be cold enough for a lot of people. Like typically, like if you just have the cold water tap on in your shower, that'll likely be anywhere between 10 and 15 degrees Celsius based on the area and even the time of the year you're in. Like I know the cold water pipes in my house run obviously a lot colder over the winter months, and they naturally just warm up in the warmer months as well. But as long as it's cold enough to yeah, make you uncomfortable and give you that initial shock when you switch it on, and you stay under the cold temperature enough time to actually get the body to be shivering, then that's when the optimal benefits will be rewarded. And like so there's yeah, a number of different physical and mental benefits. So one of the biggest physical benefits that recent research suggests is that it actually helps promote your brown fat cells and reduces the amount of white fat cells. So brown fat cells are your more metabolically active cells, and actually if you have more brown fat cells, you can increase your base core temperature and metabolic rate. So yeah, having doing regular cold therapy actually has proven, unfortunately for females, it's for some reason more beneficial for men to increase the brown fat cells. But yeah, there can actually be a significant increase in males based on metabolic rate just through regular cold exposure and overall calories burned. But yeah, they still don't really know why, but unfortunately, females don't seem to have the same response.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that there was a sex difference to the brown fat changes. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Human Lab that I saw that article on,
Mhm.
and yeah, he concluded that, and a lot of that, I think it was he like shared the article on Instagram and then had a link to the study. But some of the top comments were asking why is there a difference
Mhm.
with males and females, and yeah, there wasn't actually a definitive reason or anyone know why that doesn't happen.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. And are there any recommendations that you could share? So if I wanted to start exposing myself or doing cold water immersion, is there a recommended protocol or practice to slowly introduce it into my routine?
Yeah, so the general recommendations is 11 minutes per week can be enough to be optimal, and
Uh-huh.
that should be split over anything between like 2 and 5 frequencies. So when I did actually practice cold showers for a bit, and I did notice quite a lot of benefits from them when I was doing them. I felt like my mental clarity and just energy after them was uh, like definitely enhanced a bit, and yeah, I think I just got out of the habit of doing them and haven't really got back into it. But I was aiming for 3 times 4-minute bouts of just turning my shower cold at the end of my showers in the morning.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, if you can accrue 11 minutes, you can do it kind of however you want. Really, you could do six times 2 minutes if you want to do it more regularly and kind of get into a daily habit of it. Or if you would rather do a longer duration for less amount of time, then yeah, increasing the duration each time and reducing the frequency can also be fine. But yeah, about 11 to 12 minutes is found to be the optimal range per week.
Okay. So 15 degrees Celsius, 11 to 12 minutes total per
So the
week.
15 degrees Celsius, I'd say that would be like the very
Lower
easy
end.
rate. Yeah, so I'd say that like I said, depending on your tolerance, you might not get as much benefit from that, depending on how used to the cold you are. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'd say like 10 degrees is definitely a good shock to the body, and if you've got the willpower to push yourself a little bit more, then going down to 5 or the low degrees would be best. Yeah, when I was in Bali last year, they had in the gym facility that I was training at, there was two plunges. One was 3 degrees and one was 10 degrees.
Gosh, that's
And
cold.
yeah, there's definitely a noticeable difference between the 3 and the 10.
So that actually raises another question for me then. When you are, it sounds like you did both the 3 and a 10. Um, are is there a specific breathing practice or routine that you would advise people to investigate or consider to help them? I mean, you see some rapid breathing occasionally. Is there any type of deep breathing or rapid breathing or Wim Hof style breathing that should go with cold water immersion?
So, yes, I'd say deep, slow breathing and trying to keep it controlled is the best way that you can kind of go about it. Like your body will naturally probably try to go into like almost hyperventilation when you
Mhm.
initially have that shock. So, just trying to concentrate on slow, deep breaths and yeah, not letting yourself breathe too heavy is one of the best ways to try and deal with it. And like yeah, just try and relax into the cold, I guess.
Okay. And did that work for you?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like there's like I remember when I was doing it regularly, no matter how much I was prepared for it or knew it was coming, the initial like 10 seconds is always pretty bad, and it'd always be a little gasp. But yeah, like as soon as you like the first 30 seconds is probably the worst until it gets to a point when your hands or feet start to go a bit numb. But
Mhm.
uh, yeah, like between like 30 seconds to 2 minutes, I'd say that that 90 seconds post the first 30 seconds is a lot easier than yeah, just trying to get your head around, right, I'm going to stay here, because obviously your natural response would just be to want to get out. Or
Jump out.
like I've actually found that I preferred doing the full body immersions just because when I'm in the shower with the water just like spraying down on me, I was always more inclined to just want to step out the way and
Yeah.
just escape the shower pouring down on me whilst it's cold. Whereas obviously when you're in an immersion tank, you're just kind of stuck there unless you jump all the way out. So yeah, I actually thought it was easier to get used to the cold water tanks than it was actually in the shower.
So Nathan, reflecting on one of your comments about the mental clarity, the energy, and the fact that your sister's partner even mentioned that he was able to give up caffeine. Is there a specific time of the day when this would be better? If you're going to get that kind of jolt, do you want that in the evening, or would you be better off having that cold water immersion in the morning?
Yeah, so it was like I said, comparing it to like being able to give up coffee for it, it's like comparable to like caffeine in the sense of the benefits that you get from it. So, because your body temperature always increases throughout the day as you wake up as well, and then to go to sleep, your body tends to shift to a colder state, and when you do a cold water immersion, it actually pushes your body to warm up naturally. So you want to make sure that you're doing it in the morning or like lunchtime. I'd say just think of it as you would caffeine, and if you wouldn't have any caffeine after
Hmm.
2-3 p.m., then yeah, don't do a cold water plunge or cold shower
Okay,
later in the evening.
got it. And that makes sense. Um, are there any other specific techniques or best practices to follow during cold water immersion?
Yeah, so I know we did talk a little bit about the physical changes with the body fat, but didn't actually talk much about recovery of like performance-based stuff.
Hmm.
So with regards to like training, there is quite a lot of recovery benefits as well. But depending on your specific training goals, there is research to suggest that it might limit your muscle building and strength potential. So like my main recommendations would be if you want to do it post workout, then doing it after a long cardio session or just like a high intensity session would be optimal. And if you're doing strength or resistance training and strength or muscle building is your primary goal, then I would recommend not doing it post those workouts,
Hmm.
and yeah, do it on your other days. Just to try and maximize the benefits of both. Um, but yeah, in terms of best practices, I'd say do it post cardio in the mornings. Um, then what was the other question you said? I feel like
Uh,
you mentioned something else.
no, I think you actually touched on, are there any specific techniques or best practices to follow in terms of um, when to do it, how to do it, why to do it?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, with regards to another pro tip I'd say would be to don't warm yourself up after the shower. So
That was
just
going to
kind of
be the
like
next question. Yeah.
yeah, so just kind of pat yourself dry after you've come out of the tank or the cold shower, and then just try and let your body heat up naturally. So if you're drying yourself with a towel, like I said, just like pat off the water, but don't actually like try and rub yourself or warm
Hmm.
yourself up with the
Hmm.
like external friction from the towel. Um, and yeah, also whilst you're in the cold plunge, just try not to huddle together and like block off any of the areas that could be getting like the cold water to like your probably natural instinct would be to just hold yourself tight, and as soon as you accidentally lift your arms or something, if it goes under your armpits for the first time, you really notice it and feel the difference. But yeah, you should just try and allow yourself to relax into those kind of um, yeah positions whilst you're in the cold water, and just let your body get fully immersed by it all. And yeah, like I said at the start, just make sure that you go to a point where your body's like shivering, and you should have goosebumps when you come out whilst your body's just warming up and getting back to a baseline.
Those are some good tips. And Nathan, you mentioned that, so the recommendation would be on a day that I'm doing heavy resistance training, not to do cold water immersion after that. Um, if I'm doing like long run days, cardio days, that would be a good way to align a cold water exposure if I wanted to. Now you may see sometimes, or I've seen, you know, CrossFitters or other people doing it as part of like a if you're doing a multi-day sport, to doing some cold water immersion as part of that. Does that recovery, is that different than post-training recovery?
Yeah, so post workout, it does actually give you some acute like recovery, so it'll actually help reduced muscle soreness and perceived fatigue following a strenuous training session.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, by having that same acute recovery, it would definitely allow you to train harder or more in the evening or afternoon if you did a morning session and then a cold plunge and then we're training again later that day. So yeah, that would definitely be beneficial for people doing multiple training sessions per day.
And have you thought about reintroducing it now that you're training so intensively for high rocks?
Yeah, I'm actually planning to reintroduce them after my morning cardio sessions at some point. It's just, yeah, not been something that I've thought about or remember. I think it's more just I need to remember to
To do.
do it. Yeah.
So, are there any other, just in the extent of the literature review that you've done, are there any other tips that you may have for newbie athletes who are thinking about cold water immersion, as, adding that to their regimen?
Yeah, so I'd say you could definitely have like a bit of your own mental preparation. So just before actually getting in the cold, you could do some deep breathing practices,
Mhm.
similar to what you would when you get actually into the cold as well. Um, but just like yeah, then you could warm your body up as well. Like obviously it's very common to do post workout, so as soon as you finish your workout to jump in a cold plunge is quite nice. That's what I was doing when I was in Bali, and yeah, I was training outdoors there, and then it was very refreshing initially to go into a cold plunge straight after
Initially.
working out. um but yeah, I mean, depending on like if you're used to doing any meditation or visualization or anything like that, you could kind of use imagery or meditation techniques to try and help you mentally prepare, and even whilst you're in the cold as well, just to try and picture yourself somewhere warmer and focus on the deep breathing. um, but yeah, like with regards to if you're doing it for the first time, like I said, I first initially introduced myself to it with cold showers, which
Yeah.
looking back, I actually think is more challenging to get into than it was when I did a cold plunge, which I guess you could say that I already had that experience with the cold showers to kind of know what to expect. But yeah, just the way of getting into the cold, like I think it's a lot easier to just plunge your full body into something. Like even where when I was doing the cold plunges in Bali, the difference between having a large, it was basically like a hot tub,
Mhm.
like bath, which you could literally just sit and go full body into. Whereas my sister's boyfriend, his one is literally just like a tub, so I had to climb in and go in a bit slower. Which even just that having to step in and sit down was felt worse than just being able to dive my whole
Plunge.
body in. Yeah. So yeah, just gently going into the water at your own pace and gradually enter, or yeah, literally just jump all the way in up to your neck, and then yeah, focus on your breathing from there.
And, in the UK, so I grew up in Buffalo, New York, and one of the things that always amazed me, they had what they call the Polar Bear Club, where you would actually have people who did this, in the waters in Lake Erie or off the shores, which at the time I didn't know what cold water immersion was. I just assumed it was, a bunch of people who were celebrating the new year and doing cold water immersion. But are there groups or communities in the UK or other places that you've lived where if people wanted to do this as a community, they could find fellow immersers?
Yeah, so I'm not actually familiar with anyone in my area. Well, I don't personally know of the groups, but yeah, I did actually work with a client in the past in person, which was in a gym 5 miles away. So she will be based in Cardiff somewhere. But
Mhm.
yeah, she was actually training to swim from Ireland over to Scotland,
Oh,
and
wow.
she used to do a lot of cold water swimming, and yeah, like wild swimming they'd just call it, but to just find a cold lake. And I know that she said that whenever she was going to there was this one uh, ice cold lake in Western Supermare that she used to go to, which she said there'd always be similar regulars there that would be doing it in groups and communities. So, and yeah, I know that there's where my parents are based, someone that I went to school with runs is part of a club called I think it's Pembrokeshire Peckers or something, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, they meet up and do regularly like cold plunges into the in Tenby and Saundersfoot beaches. So I'm sure if you look in your area, it wouldn't take long to find something nearby if it was something you wanted to get involved with, if there's a community there.
Awesome. I'm more of a heat person, but definitely, learning from you some of the benefits, I may need to try this again, um, because I am strong. I can give it a try.
Yeah, it's
Nate,
definitely good to just push your willpower and mental toughness as well,
would
just to
agree.
see how much you can endure.
Nathan, is there anything about cold water immersion that we've not had time to cover today that you wanted to share with the community?
So I feel like I did, yeah, just briefly go over the mental health benefits, which didn't really touch on a huge amount when you asked that. So yeah, I'll just quickly kind of highlight the. So yeah, it's been massively shown to help it reduce stress and improve anxiety as well. So anyone that suffers from anxiety would definitely be worth giving these a try. And like I said, my sister's boyfriend did it for mental health benefits initially, and then just carried on doing it because he did feel so good from it. It can also help enhance your mood, and it gives you more mental clarity and energy throughout the day. And yeah, as I just kind of touched on there, it'll improve your like willpower and mental resilience as well, just from the practice of enduring discomfort and kind of building that resilience to
Mhm.
get over and better handle that stress when your body comes into it throughout the day as well. And then also has a good, well researched to improve people's sleep as well when done at the correct times of day.
Awesome. So, I mean, really, it's total health benefits. Um,
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot to be, benefited from if you're doing it regularly.
okay. Um, Nathan, last question, and then we can wrap up. Is there anyone who shouldn't do cold water immersion?
So, if you've got any particular heart conditions, I would definitely recommend consulting a doctor, just because it does restrict your circulation.
Hmm.
Um, so, um, yeah, that would be my own only a precaution. Was yeah, if you have heart condition or high blood pressure, potentially consult your physician before undergoing it.
Okay. Well, thank you. I mean, I hope that you have had a good opportunity to share your experience with everyone, and I appreciate you joining us today. And Nathan, this was awesome. Look forward to having you back on the live stream. Um, any last words before we wrap it up for today?
No, I'm yeah happy to be here, and yeah, thank you for having me. I hope anyone tuning in has learned a valuable lesson, and yeah, might take the next step to try out a cold plunge.
Well, if you do give it a try, please let us know. Feel free to share in the comments, share on the Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any additional questions about cold water immersion that we can answer, please feel free to let us know below. We'd love to either have another conversation or to answer your questions directly. So thank you so much for joining us today. And next week, we will be back 11 a.m. Eastern Time with Coach Wukash, and we're going to be having a conversation around healthy lifestyle choices. So I hope you'll be able to join us for that call too. Until then, stay strong, keep pushing forward, and remember, we care about each and every one of you. Take care, superheroes, and we'll see you again next week.